The Wellness Sport edition number 15, whatever it is. We've got our coach, our foreman, chair and the selectors, a great brain in his own right, and our tubby little back pocket player. Well, Hoppy did a bit of commentating yesterday. A pretty impressive win from the local boys.
I thought after about halfway through the second quarter, if Witchy had a kick straight, could have been perhaps 4 or 5 goals up at half time. Looking back on the game, I don't think Donald really had one clear winner for the day. I think it was a very impressive win by Witchy.
Evo, Western give Lowry a bit of a worry in the first quarter, but to Lowry's credit, he did come back and, well, I reckon Western was in the penny section, particularly in the last half.
Yeah, he likes a bit of room, that Western. He can jump pretty high, but he perseveres in coming from behind. I think once Kieran worked out to keep his body fairly close to him so that he couldn't get that big leap, he cut him right out of the game. He's still a young kid, and I think if he could learn a bit more about the game and not rely on his marking so much, he'd probably be a very hard player to beat.
Taddy, we picked up a couple in Shay and Lowry as key backline players. Bit of a bonus to play alongside with, eh?
Shay's real good to play alongside. He's pretty tough, and he's no, I reckon he's real good. He backs up well. He's a good, strong mark, and he always looks for you. Lowry's always looking for the handball. He loves going past for the handball. Plays real well. I think he's used to playing in a lot better side than what we've got, but he's doing all right, I reckon, at the moment.
Well, I think that's an understatement. Evo, you had a bit of a go at the back flank on Malone yesterday. I thought you put him out of business fairly well, to be quite frank.
Unfortunately for Bill, he slowed down, thank Christ. Yeah, well, it was probably something that had to be done because he is a player that can really lift a side, but I don't think he's playing as well. Probably against Boort when he got whacked over there, probably didn't help him much, but he didn't seem very interested in the game yesterday. But he's a very lifting player and could have possibly swung the game had he been tuned in, but I don't think he was tuned in yesterday.
Yeah, I agree with you, Gary. I reckon, particularly after half-time, you know, Donald, they didn't try to do a hell of a lot with their side hop. I reckon perhaps, you know, a few moves would have been pretty well justified.
Yeah, I thought probably they could have brought Robbie Pettifer on a bit earlier. He had a little bit of life to the forward when he did come on. I thought one of Donald's biggest mistake, and probably Gilmore was one of the prime offenders, that every time they did gain possession of the ball in the back line, this ground, whereas Witchy was dead the opposite. They'd grab the ball and go straight down the middle.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. You know, I reckon Witchy did play a lot more direct than Donald did. You know, the shortest way from A to B is a straight line. Taddy, you know, we've beaten both top sides by very large margins. You know, I reckon we're pissing our own pocket a little bit if we consider ourselves a 10-goal better side than any other side in the comp, but that's the way it's shaping. But I just don't reckon that we're that better side than any other side in the comp.
We're not. We at the moment, I think we're playing pretty well. Well, we are playing well, but they're not playing up to stand too, I don't think. Like, Boort were undermanned when we played them and beat them, compared to when we first played against them and beat them. Donald, well, Malone, after concussion against Boort, I didn't think he should have been playing himself because he just wasn't there. He was out to it. He didn't even look like wanting to play. And as we found out against Buddy in that grand final over at Buddy Wedderburn, when Malone's going well, he can really boost that side, and he did. He just didn't spark, and they were waiting for him, and it didn't happen.
Back to you again, Taddy. Just yesterday, you know, we had many good players. There was lots of points of conjecture about our best players in the House of Knowledge last night. We all know who got the awards after the game. Are you happy with the awards that were given?
I think so. Who got them? Bloody. I wasn't even listening. Bloody.
Larry Fossett, Coles, and Truman.
I think Shea was unlucky not to get an award himself. He played well, especially in the first half. He burned. He's me, mate. No, I reckon Shea was a bit unlucky. All the rest played well. Everyone played well. Sorry.
Yeah, well, okay, you know, we've assessed the side's going pretty well, Gary, but, you know, where's our weaknesses? We haven't got a perfect side, so we must have weaknesses. Pinpoint them, man.
I think our biggest weakness at this stage will be ourselves if we get too cocky about the whole show. It's very hard with a team of young players to keep them up, and probably when a coach earns his money this time of the year is keeping them on the right track and keeping them in the right frame of mind. It doesn't matter how much you're winning by. They're only 4 points at this stage. Comes finals time, it's not 4 points you're going for. It's a premiership, and that's our aim. And I think if we can keep our heads on our shoulders and our feet on the ground, we've got a fair show. No worries about that.
It's been quoted that we have lost 9 players from last year's grand final side. I think we haven't lost a game for the last 10 weeks. Hop, the difference between this year's side and last year's side?
Well, Red, as you just said, lost a pair of players, but from what I can see this year, there's been a marked improvement in a lot of players. Darren Scarce, I regard now as a top winger. Greg Anderson, big strong mark up forward, and an accurate kick, the same as Exy Best. Like last year, they were flash in the pan. One game, they played well, didn't play well again for another 4 weeks. But they're big, strong boys now, and they're playing like they should, using their hips and using their shoulders, and they're grabbing the marks and kicking straight. Other big improvers, I reckon, are Sparkles McLennan. He never ever failed to bore in, but this time he's boring in, he's actually getting the ball, and his kicking's improved, and I reckon that's a big plus for Witchy.
Teddy, you know, there's a lot of talk around pubs of Saturday nights and that, and Tiger and I come under a fair bit of bloody fire. Are you happy with the hierarchy of the selectors and all the rest of it?
I am. I don't know about Steve. He seems to give them a fair sort of a pistol on Saturday nights. I don't know. I think they're doing all right at the moment while we're winning, and I don't think there's too many grizzling. I don't know. I don't go to the pubs much now.